Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and today I'm doing a mod spotlight for the Buildcraft add-on called the Bucket Filler. You guys have probably seen my prior video on the Buildcraft Bucket Filler. It's a really great mod. It really makes some cool additions to Buildcraft and all the water physics that Space Toad has added to Buildcraft. However, the maker of the Bucket Filler mod has recently made some new additions, and I'd like to show them to you guys. He actually gave me an advanced copy of his mod, so I'm using right now a version of the mod that has not been publicly released just yet. So in lieu of the fact that it hasn't been publicly released, I should mention to you guys that this is not a final version of the mod. What you're seeing represents like a beta testing version. I think he's still trying to balance out the recipes. So the recipes you're about to see may not be the final ones, but I'm pretty sure they'll be pretty close. So without further ado, why don't I get showing you some of the changes. Alright, let's take a look. So I've got my bucket filler here, and I'm going to go ahead and put up a pump right above this 5x5 pool of water, and my pump will happily extend down. Let's also get ready to run some stuff. I'm going to grab myself some golden waterproof pipes, and we'll just let these guys run straight over here like this. And I'll run them to my bucket filler. Excellent. And of course I'm going to need some redstone energy. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a combustion engine there. And I'm going to give myself some fuel. I know I've got some fuel somewhere around here. And I'm going to also need another combustion engine for the bucket filler itself. There's some fuel. So if I go ahead and activate this redstone combustion engine here, you'll see it start pumping out this water. And look at that, all the water flowing through and filling up the bucket filler. That's all well and good. And of course you can place your bucket in your bucket filler, and you need to lay down a combustion engine filled with fuel, or whatever resource you want, and apply power to the combustion engine to get it to fill up the water bucket. Works like a charm. That's exactly how the bucket filler has always worked. If you have industrial craft, you can also grab yourself some empty cells, and the bucket filler will fill up your empty cells for you. How great is that? So the newest version of the bucket filler automatically fills up your cells, your water cells, with empty cells with water cells. Now it stopped filling there because I don't have that combustion engine running anymore. It just had some residual energy. So that's the great thing, is you can put empty cells in and get water cells, or lava cells, or whatever else. So all well and good. Now something else I should mention, which is pretty cool, is you can now use a wooden waterproof pipe. And where is my wrench? I need a wrench. There we go. And it'll actually pump water out of the bucket filler if you want. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, what good is that? Well, it's actually kind of cool. There might be a couple reasons you want to do it. First off, let's go ahead and give this guy some energy. You can put full water buckets in, and they'll get drained out into the buffer here. And then those full buckets can be used to pump out into a tank. Don't ask me why you'd want to do that, but it's an option and it's pretty cool. You might have some kind of use on some kind of build that you want to do that might make that useful for you guys. So that's just another neat feature of the bucket filler. Now the next thing you should know about this mod is that he also added a really awesome feature. He gave you the ability to modify how much energy is required to fill a bucket of water, or lava, or fuel, or whatever you're filling up. And the cool thing about that is it's a config file option setting, and you can say basically, the amount of energy required to fill one bucket. And based on that setting determines the recipe you're about to see. So why don't I get myself the ingredients for that recipe. If you take your existing bucket filler and with the default settings use steam engines and golden gears, you get a self-powered bucket filler. That's correct. This version of the bucket filler does not need to have a combustion engine running on it to get it to pump energy and fill up your buckets. So what's really great about that is you don't have to worry about how much energy you're sending to your bucket filler. So if we hook this guy back up, flip on our redstone engine again, and let it start pumping some water into this thing. We can just place our bucket in and it'll automatically fill up. No need to apply power to the bucket filler. Excellent. And the recipe is based pretty much, like I said, on the setting you have for how much power is required to fill one bucket of water. And it's something you can balance yourself. You can either use redstone engines and iron gears, stone engines and gold gears like I just showed you, and if you really want to have it high level, you can use iron engines and diamond gears. So again, it's up to you to determine how much energy is required to fill that bucket of water. But once you've built this self-powered bucket filler, you don't ever have to power it again. It'll just constantly fill buckets automatically. So what are we going to do with all these water buckets that we're making? Well, lots of things of course, but there's another recipe here. Take a pump, a couple of diamond gears, that's right, it's a rather expensive recipe in that it requires 8 diamonds, and a bunch of water cells, and you get a water generator. This thing is pretty neat. Now, of course, you're not going to get free water out of nothing. You're going to have to apply some kind of energy to that water generator. So why not just lay down my water generator here, lay down my bucket filler, for example, and put a golden waterproof pipe in between them. Now, obviously, this water generator is not going to create water all by itself. You need to apply some kind of energy to it. You can either do this with redstone engines or combustion engines, determining basically how much energy you want to get and how much water you want to get out of it. Now let's go ahead and try activating this guy, and look at that, magically producing water basically out of nothing except for the fact that you're supplying energy. So water's coming out of nowhere basically and filling up that bucket filler. Pretty cool. Of course, if you didn't want to fuel this thing, you could put 4 redstone engines, and it would probably produce a sufficient amount of water for you. But if you want to do 2 of these guys, there comes the water. Not sure if that's overkill or not. It might be. But like I said, just go ahead and use 4 redstone engines and you'll probably be pretty good. Or 5. And that will eventually produce a bit of water for you. Very nice. So, that's the bucket filler mod. Hope you guys enjoyed checking this out, and I'll catch you all later. Take it easy. Oh, by the way, you can find the link in the description of the video. Alright, adios guys.